Hello, UCAR. Peter Christensen here, coming to you from the CEO's desk. Happy Friday, everybody. Happy March. What? It's March. There's no guarantee you're watching this on a Friday or in March, for that matter. That is the magic of video. You could be watching this in May on a Thursday. So I said last week, which I don't know if you're watching these in order, but I did say last week, that we were going to do 3. So two weeks ago, we did the UAR dropped 4 new forms, and we covered one of them last week, the appraisal addendum. And then I said we were going to cover 3 this week. Yeah, we're not going to cover 3 this week. I want to do them justice, so we're going to do 1 at a time, I think. We'll see if the next 2 merit a whole video, but I try not to make these things 15 minutes long. So I think we better just do 1 at a time. Hopefully you agree. Referral agreement. So that's what we're going to do now. The referral agreement, broker to broker. Why is it broker to broker? Because brokers are the only parties entitled to receive payment for real estate transaction services in Utah. So it's broker to broker, referral agreement. So pull it up, look at it. We're going to go through this thing in detail. Let's jump in. First of all, not mandatory. This is not mandatory, but it's a helpful form, right? So like most of the UAR forms, they're not mandatory forms. So if your brokerage has one you're using and you like it better, great. You can keep using it. But this one's here to help. In the, almost 14 years I've been doing this, and back in my UAR legal counsel days, I can't tell you how many times I got asked, do you guys have a referral form? And we didn't. So we'd say, no, you just got to, have your brokerage get one. And so probably a long time coming, this one. It's just a simple concept, so I think it was never very pressing. But we're doing it now. We did it. It's done. Okay. So let's look at it. Section 1. You got the opening. You just put your brokerage names in there, and then the name of the prospect, the client that's being referred over to some other brokerage. So contact information. This is where you put the contact info for the client. Now, what if you don't have their address, or their address isn't pertinent? Maybe they're buying a home and it doesn't matter where. Put the info that's helpful in there, and that will be good. So, number 2, the term. This is an important one. This is one that is probably the biggest issue in referral agreements, is the term of the agreement. So it starts, you have to turn to section 11. It starts when both parties have signed the agreement. That's the starting date. So in section 2, you put when it's going to end, and you put a date in there. It's going to end on this date. So, if you're doing 6 months, whatever, just guess as close as you can to 6 months from when you think this will be signed. And that should be good. We're going to talk a little more about this concept of the termination date, the term period it's called in this addendum, or this form. This is its own form, not an addendum. Because there are circumstances where that will be extended a little bit. So we'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, type of referral. This is an interesting one, because you can refer a client for really any real estate service. So this form really is specifically for purchasing or selling a home. So for a buyer or seller. It's not really designed to cover other circumstances. There is an additional terms section, but if you want to use it for another type of referral, I'd probably suggest having an attorney drop a specific form for you. But this one really, probably 90% of the referrals will be for a buyer or a seller. So that's what this is geared to do. So you check one or both. Now this is really important. A lot of fights come from, well, I referred you this seller, but now they're buying a home. Do I get a referral fee for when they buy? I gave you this client. Shouldn't I get a referral fee for them buying a home as well? Well, if you intend on that, then check both those boxes. If they're just going to sell their home and you're not concerned with whether they buy a home through that brokerage or not, whether your brokerage gets a referral fee, then just check which box you think applies, or both. So, yeah. do you want to be specific or have a kind of a blanket referral? And then 4, compensation. Again, you just decide which one. This one's an or. 3 can be an and. You notice there's an and/or. In legal terms, that means you can check both these boxes or just one of them. In Section 4, it's an or. That means only check one of the boxes. It's a little legal tip for you. So is it a flat fee you're going to get, $10 million for referring this client to you? Or is it a percentage of the commission received by the receiving brokerage? So check one of those, not both, one of those. And then Section 5, number of real estate transactions. This is one that never crossed my mind until we started to talk about it in the forms committee. But is this an ongoing referral deal, or is this for one purchase, one transaction? So again, this is an or. So there are 2 check boxes, but it's an or. So only check one of them. So first box, only one real estate transaction or all real estate transactions under Section 3. So that goes back to the type of referral, buying, selling. So if you want this to be pretty broad and you're saying, no, this client's going to, give you a lot of business and we're giving you this client, so we would like continued, for the period at least, for the period it applies to, we'd like continued referral fees. Then mark all real estate transactions. So yeah, those 2 work in tandem. Section 3 and Section 5. It's how you want to structure it. Maybe it's nope. This is someone selling their home. That's all we're concerned with. That's all the referring or the receiving brokerage will agree to. Then just check that only one, and then it's clear. Okay, payment obligations. This is the stuff that often gets left out of these agreements that the lawyers harp on. And so good information in here, but you need to be aware of how this works. So this is payment obligations. This is how you get paid. What are the terms? It's always nice when we say, yeah, you'll pay me X amount, but then when, how, when is it triggered? That's the stuff maybe normal people don't always think of, but the lawyers really key into. And so this is really good stuff to have in here. Payment obligations. So 6A, basically, if you don't get paid, and I've had these, I've seen these in arbitrations, I've had these phone calls of a referred client who doesn't pay. Something goes wrong in the transaction and the client refuses to pay, but the brokerage who referred the client says, hey, that closed, I want to get paid my referral fee, even though you didn't collect anything. So this clarifies and says that the referring brokerage is not obligated to pay if they don't get paid. So until the receiving broker/agent is paid a commission, then a bonus or fee, then they don't owe the money. So you have to get paid to owe the referral fee to someone else. Section B, it's the term. So this is where we said Section 2, when it expires. So what happens if it goes under contract? And let's say the referral term ends on March 15th, and it goes under contract on March 3rd, but isn't going to close until March 25th. Well, now do I not owe a referral fee? Is it because I haven't received the funds yet? And that's what we said in 6A. I don't have obligation to pay until I receive the funds. Well, it says, okay, if it has not closed but is under contract. So the prospect is contracted to purchase or sell a property but has not yet closed as of the expiration term. So that's our situation here. The parties agree that the term period shall automatically extend until the transaction closes or cancels. So it automatically says this is the same transaction you would have gotten paid on. It's under contract. We'll extend the term until it closes. So you're still going to get paid. If it goes under contract during that term specified in Section 2, you're going to get paid for it even if it hasn't closed. And then C is gives you a timing. So once you get paid, you have 15 days to send over the referral fee, and you have to have received the W-9 from the referring brokerage. So tax reasons, you're going to get you're going to have a W-9 so you can report the tax properly, what entity you were paying the referral fee to. So they lump that in there out of necessity because those are hard to get after you've paid someone. So within 15 days, and you have to have received the W-9, you got to pay that within that time. Hopefully that's clear. So just fill out that W-9 right at the beginning, send it over, and then 15 days from when they get paid, they have to, the brokerage has to pay the referral fee. So the rest of this, just simple stuff, kind of legal stuff. 7, 8, 9, 10's your open additional terms. Hopefully you're not using that a lot. And then 11's the effective date that we talked about already. So that's this form in a nutshell. Hopefully that is simple enough and clear, and that you use this. And yeah, if you have questions, please throw them in the comment section. I'll try to hit those. Maybe I'll do a follow-up video if I've confused everyone. There's also Craig and Lance at the UAR did an awesome Facebook Live video on this, and you could still find that on the UAR's Facebook page. So they go into this and other forums in depth. So go check those out. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, this is not legal advice, but this is legal information only. If you need specific legal advice, please contact your attorney.